The life of Ron Howard began in a way that few children ever experience. Born on March 1, 1954, in Duncan, Oklahoma, he entered a household deeply connected to the world of storytelling and performance. His father, Rance Howard, and his mother, Jean Spiegel Howard, were both actors who believed strongly in creative expression. Because of that environment, Ron's introduction to the film industry happened incredibly early. Before he could even fully speak, he was already appearing on screen. At just 18 months old, he appeared in the film Frontier Woman, beginning a relationship with the entertainment world that would last a lifetime. While many children discover their passions gradually, Ron's path seemed almost predetermined, shaped by the creative ambitions of his family and the opportunities that surrounded him from the very beginning. Growing up, between childhood and Hollywood. When the Howard family moved to Los Angeles in the late 1950s, Ron's world changed dramatically. Instead of a traditional childhood filled with playground afternoons and neighborhood adventures, his days often revolved around auditions, studio sets, and balancing education with work. Schoolwork sometimes happened in small tutoring rooms near busy sound stages, where scripts and rehearsals were just as important as textbooks. Later in life, Ron would describe this period as living inside a golden cage. From the outside, everything appeared exciting and fortunate, but inside it could feel isolating. The expectations of the industry arrived early, and he often carried responsibilities that most children never encounter. While he appreciated the opportunities he had, he also sensed that his childhood was unfolding differently from that of other kids his age, becoming America's favorite young star. Everything changed in 1960 when The Andy Griffith Show premiered on television. At only 6 years old, Ron stepped into the role of Opie Taylor, the kind-hearted son of Sheriff Andy Taylor, played by Andy Griffith. The show quickly became a beloved part of American culture, and Ron's performance made him one of the most recognizable child actors of the era. Audiences admired the gentle warmth and sincerity he brought to the character. Yet behind the scenes, Ron was still navigating the realities of growing up under public attention. While other children were playing outside, he was often rehearsing scenes or studying lines in quiet studio rooms. His father encouraged him to act honestly rather than trying to be overly cute, advice that shaped his natural style on screen. Even at a young age, Ron learned to approach acting as a craft rather than simply a performance. Learning the craft at a young age. During the years when the show was thriving, Ron continued building experience in other projects. One memorable opportunity came with the 1962 film The Music Man, where he worked alongside Shirley Jones. Though audiences saw a confident young performer, moments behind the camera revealed the pressures he sometimes felt. Learning choreography and managing complex scenes could be challenging for a child, but supportive colleagues and creative filmmaking techniques helped smooth the process. For Ron, each project became a lesson. He watched directors closely, absorbing how scenes were structured and how stories were shaped visually. Without realizing it at the time, those observations were planting the seeds for his future career. Acting introduced him to the mechanics of filmmaking, and his curiosity about the work happening behind the camera continued to grow with every new experience. Life after a famous childhood role. When The Andy Griffith Show concluded in 1968, Ron entered a new stage of life. Leaving behind a role that had defined his childhood meant adjusting to new expectations and opportunities. He continued attending school and exploring different acting projects while thinking about the direction his future might take. Like many young actors transitioning from childhood fame, he had to figure out how to move forward without being permanently tied to one character. The entertainment industry can be unpredictable, especially for performers who achieve success at such an early age. Ron understood that maintaining a long career would require flexibility, learning, and patience. During these years, he quietly considered possibilities beyond acting, including the creative side of filmmaking that had fascinated him since his earliest days on set. A second wave of fame on television. In 1974, Ron found himself once again at the center of a popular television series when he joined the cast of Happy Days. Playing Richie Cunningham, he became part of a show that celebrated friendship, family, and nostalgia for the 1950s. The series quickly gained a large following, and Ron's portrayal of Richie helped anchor the story's warmth and humor. Once again, millions of viewers welcomed him into their homes each week. However, by the late 1970s, Ron began thinking seriously about his future in the industry. While acting continued to bring success, he felt increasingly drawn toward directing. The idea of guiding entire stories rather than performing within them sparked his imagination. At age 23, he made the bold decision to step away from the comfort of a successful acting role and pursue a new creative path. Taking the first steps as a director, Ron's transition into directing began with an opportunity from legendary producer Roger Corman. Corman offered him the chance to direct the 1977 film Grand Theft Auto. The project was modest in budget, but invaluable as a learning experience. Ron approached it with determination, applying the lessons he had gathered from years on film sets. The movie demonstrated that he possessed both technical skill and storytelling instinct. More importantly, it gave him confidence that directing could become a lasting career. What began as an experiment quickly evolved into a steady path forward. Hollywood started to recognize that the former child star had transformed into a thoughtful filmmaker, capable of handling complex productions and compelling narratives. Building a remarkable film career. Over the following decades, Ron Howard developed a reputation as one of Hollywood's most reliable directors. His films spanned many genres, reflecting his interest in different kinds of storytelling. Among the projects that shaped his career were Night Shift, Splash, Cocoon, Willow, and Parenthood. Each film added new layers to his professional identity. Rather than limiting himself to a single style, Ron embraced comedy, drama, fantasy, and heartfelt family stories. His ability to collaborate with actors and crews created productions that felt both polished and emotionally grounded. The industry increasingly trusted him with ambitious projects. For Ron, directing was not only a profession but also a way to shape meaningful stories that audiences could connect with across generations. The bond with his brother. Another important part of Ron's life story is his relationship with his younger brother, Clint Howard. Both brothers experienced the unique journey of growing up in the entertainment industry. Clint also built a long career in film and television, often appearing in memorable supporting roles. Their shared history created a strong bond built on understanding the unusual environment of Hollywood from a young age. Throughout their lives, they supported one another through personal and professional challenges. Ron has often spoken warmly about Clint's talent and resilience, emphasizing the importance of family connections in an industry that can sometimes feel unpredictable. Their relationship remains a meaningful part of Ron's personal story and a reminder that success is often shaped by the people who grow alongside us. A life of storytelling and reflection. As Ron Howard moved into his 70s, he found himself reflecting on a career that has spanned more than 6 decades. From a toddler appearing in films to a respected director shaping major cinematic stories, his journey reflects dedication, adaptability, and curiosity. With an estimated legacy worth hundreds of millions of dollars and countless creative achievements, Ron continues to be admired across the entertainment world. Yet his reflections often focus less on awards and more on the experiences that shaped him: family, collaboration, and the joy of storytelling. His life demonstrates how a person can evolve within an industry that constantly changes. Through acting, directing, and producing, Ron Howard has spent a lifetime helping audiences explore human stories, reminding us that the most meaningful journeys are often those that unfold both on screen and in everyday life.